Alright, so I went digging around the internet, well, mainly YouTube, and asked around a few corrupted Gauntlet guides, and somebody actually replied to me, and I went ahead and took his advice with a grain of salt, and went into corrupted Gauntlet, and I changed my strategy a little bit. I'm still going to be kind of riffing in the same way that I'm usually riffing. Uh, So basically the whole change to my strategy from the last video is that I'm gonna deal with less of the smaller enemies. So I'm only gonna take the first three that I encounter, and I'm gonna loot them and run along. I'm still gonna go through the practice of going all the way to the 3 boss rooms to see what bosses are present. Uh, you know, in an attempt to just know where I should spend my time. If there's no bosses all the way over here, then I should get the supplies and focus my time and effort into another corner of the gauntlet so I can actually get upgraded weapons. Um, but yeah, my tier 1 prep is looking just a little bit different. Basically the same though. So I'm gonna grab as many supplies as I can from the first couple rooms. I'm gonna drop the axe and pickaxe as I need it, and I get really lucky here that I don't have a bunch of small enemies. I have 2 scorpions, and I'm gonna be able to drag them pretty much all the way back to the base. So I'm gonna be able to make a weapon, take them out, and then turn around and make my armor. And then I'm pretty much not gonna need shards for the rest of the prep phase. So here's me setting up the run in. Just gonna make a weapon and equip it. Kind of a little bit of a stall there in an attempt to keep my mind straight. I did a couple practice runs last night, and it's not really something that was like cohesive to me. So like I had to adapt like a new methodology. So if there's nothing but the small enemies, you might consider just taking a couple of them out and getting enough shards to at least make a weapon. So then you can go deal with the demis. Because I kind of screwed myself a couple times by just not having enough shards. And I was wasting too much time searching for resources that weren't necessarily there. So, all that aside, I get literally everything that I need shards for, except for the bow. I think I have just enough for the bow, and I'm going to end up getting more shards as I go along here, and, just to go over what I think are mistakes here, I'm gonna end up taking the corrupted spike off of the ground, despite having a vast majority of the shards that I need already. Other than that, as I was watching through here just now, I don't think I'm seeing anything in particular. So in conclusion, I think that this small change to the prep phase has streamlined it and given me the time to do more things, which in turn allows me to make more mistakes. So I can be more comfortable making small mistakes, like grinding up the corrupted spike I'm about to get here, and just not having, or not needing that many. And that's just a small adjusting thing, so I can probably fix that up over the course of, a couple more runs. So yeah, I think that's particularly good. I'll go ahead and list the YouTuber that I had a little comment interaction with, and list his video, because he also lists a whole bunch of other things that I was doing that maybe weren't necessarily wrong, but weren't necessarily good for my run, in particular surrounding the Hunlift fight. And I kind of had an idea there that there was something I was doing that wasn't exactly what I needed to be doing, and instead of taking the spotlight from him, I'm just gonna list him, and if you need to learn the Corrupted Gauntlet, go watch his video. That simple. So we're gonna run over here, and we're gonna run into the bear boss. So it's a good thing that I took care of the second... Oh wait, that's right. So this isn't necessarily a mistake, but it does happen. So there's no bosses over here, and I'm still trying to upgrade my tier 3 weapon. I do have another teleport crystal, so I do have the time to kind of wander around, and this is what I was talking about earlier. This gave me the option to do more things while in my prep phase. So this ultimately is really good for me. This gives me, you know, comfort in my prep phase, and allows me to get to the Hunlift more easily. So I'm thinking about less things. I'm doing things, you know, with less impatience. You know, I'm more focused on what I need to be doing. Like the fact that my tier 3 weapon was a bow, and I was still using my tier 2 weapon, the staff. So I switched so I could get that bear boss down quicker, because the defense really doesn't matter here. Hit that teleport crystal, get back, and this is, you know, about what I was achieving before on a good run. So the fact that this is kind of like a mistake run tells me that I might be able to shave my Hunlift runs down by a minute or two, bringing me down to a 9 to 10 minute average from an 11 to 12 minute average. So again, incredibly good for me. And this is just me. I probably have more than enough fish here cooked up, so I probably could have went into the Hunlift's room. But that's not me. I'm gonna get as many fish as I can. I'm gonna deem that to be enough, and we're gonna go in and we're gonna fight the Hunlift. So yeah, his first attack is a melee. I can't remember if that actually counts towards the switches. Does that? No, it doesn't seem to count towards the switches, because he still got off 4 ranged attacks there. Interesting to note. So, one of the small things that I'm always thinking while I'm doing the Hunlift is that I need to be doing as much damage to the Hunlift as possible, because he's going to be doing as much damage as possible to me. So, you know, reducing the ticks that I'm eating is going to be helpful. That being said, if I'm kiting the tornadoes and I'm already not shooting at the Hunlift, or not, you know, casting a spell at the Hunlift, then I should eat and fill up that gap. I personally believe that you should sit at full health as much as possible. But there is some truth to be said over the tick loss, as it's called. So if I focus on eating, then I don't have, you know, room for DPS. But if I don't have health, I don't have room for you know, healing or damage. So it's kind of a balance. Now the Hunlift can max hit for like 13 with tier 1 armor. So sitting and camping on tier 1 armor it's not a terrible choice. It's just you've got to keep that in mind, that he can hit you for 13. So if you fall to 13, you probably want to keep healing up. But if you're sitting like I am at 80, 82, it might not be preferable to, you know, eat. Sometimes you're doing other things. It is what it is. One of the things that was mentioned a lot, or was mentioned in the comments between me and the YouTuber I mentioned earlier, was that, you know, don't fix what ain't broke. Ultimately, I was getting clears before, and I'm still getting clears now. And I think that what I learned is going to be an excellent addition to my strategy, and I'd like to say thank you. continuing the Hunliff down past 300. This is going to end up being an average for me with 11 minutes-ish, but it's, again, ultimately a clear.